days, gotta keep my phone on airplane mode.
Mexican Americans, what are you waiting for? Get your passport. Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. Hopefully you like my content. I'm starting fresh, starting new, getting ready for a new year. I'm dabbling with all kinds of financial and startups on my end, but still trying to keep this YouTube channel going alive. And I'm going to start bringing you more information, not just the nightlife scenery. We're going to start bringing you really good intel, because there are a lot of changes going on in the world. And for the people tuning in, if you're Mexican American, this is going to be especially for you, but this actually applies to everybody on how you can get your Mexican passport, or at the minimum, your residential or citizenship. Now, why would you want that? Why wouldn't you want a plan B, C, D? Me, myself, I'm trying to get it all the way from plan A to Z, because you just never know what happens, what could happen. And now more than ever in the world, I know everybody's feeling it, especially you guys in the US. You are feeling that inflation, that high rise of unemployment, and the totalitarianism that's going on. Come on now, you can't lie to yourself. I've always said it. You see a big fire going on, but you want to turn around and pretend that fire's not going on. Well, let me tell you, since I'm big on geopolitics, politics, I'm ex-military, and I've been to Iraq, and I've seen how this chess game is played. Definitely this fire has been boiling up to the point that we are at this hot zone, you can say, and it's just the start of what's to come. We're gonna go into a new digital AI revolutionized world. You already have.
Lord have mercy. We must stay focused, brothers. We must stay focused.
So how easy is it to get your Mexican passport? It's very easy compared to a lot of other countries that have a high demand on what they need for them to give out their passport. For Mexico itself, for any foreigner, you would need 5 years of residency in Mexico. After those 5 years and learning at least the basic Spanish, you can apply for your citizenship here, which once getting your citizenship, you're able to go and get your identification card called the INE. Then they give you a CURP, which would be the equivalent to a Social Security in the United States. And from there, you can, once getting those, you're able to go to the passport agency and apply for your passport and have the 54th best passport that you can get in the world. 4 is pretty damn close to number 1. Now, the last time I checked, about a year or 2 ago, since I have both, the Mexican passport is allowed into more easy access into other countries than the United States passport. And if things keep boiling up to what we're seeing in the world right now, as far as war and politics, people aren't too fond about the United States. So it wouldn't surprise me that if in the future there's certain countries that kind of make it harder for someone to go into their country. As vice versa, Mexican passport, you can literally, there's so many countries that you can go, just arrive in a plane, fill out a form, your visa, and you're in. Instead of applying for a visa, or even worse, having to pay a fee to go through a visa process where you're possibly going to be denied and you'll lose money. Now, Mexican passport, you're able to visa-free access into, I believe, New Zealand, most of Europe, all of Latin America, And just to compare it to the United States passport, if you want to go to Cuba, which a lot of people are trying to go to Cuba because Cuba is Cuba, right? Have a little mojito if you want, or Cuba Libre, and you know, have a little ride on one of those Chevys. I still have yet to do that, but it is on my bucket list since I'm just right across the pond here in Tulum, Mexico. And if you're an American with the American passport, I believe you have to have, it's pretty strict because remember, this is a communist country, Cuba, and we have put sanctions and restrictions on them that make it that much harder. So it's not as easy, whereas in a Mexican passport, it's basically like just a hello, come on in kind of thing. Or another one is Venezuela. Even though who wants to go to Venezuela, that's definitely for the adventure seekers, but there are a lot of people like myself wanting to go there and possibly look at the opportunities of in the future for its regrowth. As we all know, it has collapsed as an economy, just like Argentina has collapsed. And so if you were trying to go into Venezuela with an American passport, you would have to apply at a Venezuela embassy in America. It takes about 6 months. You pay a fee as well, and it's not for sure that you're gonna get accepted. On the other hand, if you have a Mexican passport, it's just come on in. So the moral here that I'm trying to throw at everybody, not just Mexican Americans, which I'll get to why it's so much easier for you to get your passport, but I'm doing this because why wouldn't you want a backup plan? I think most people don't even have a backup plan, whether it's financially, money saved, or having assets. Now more than ever, it's definitely what you need because you just never know how the ball could turn. Everything can go downhill in 1 second, like we saw during lockdowns in 2020. And so your best bet, what I've always preached to people, is that passport. And I know so many of my friends in America do not even have a passport, and they know that I've always like, come on you guys, get your passport, because that's the key to the world. That's your key to leave the country, to go to another place, to visit, for leisure, for travel. But at the very most important, I think now, is in case something happens, you have somewhere else you can relocate. Because again, referring back to 2020 pandemic, these passport agencies, or pretty much all government facilities, were just closed down. So if you're the type of person, like I know many, you want to wait to the last second, or let's wait till that happens, well, that's how you get screwed. That's a poor man's way of thinking. Instead, you want to plan for the future, make your moves now, and if all goes well and nothing happens, you haven't lost anything. You're only gaining. It's only a win-win situation. So why wouldn't you? Now, for my Mexican Americans that have, like myself, who are from Mexican descent and being born in the US, you are entitled to dual citizenship. Why wouldn't you? Okay? How? You will need to get one of your parents' birth certificates from Mexico, and it's easy as going into a city hall in any of the states, and most states now have this digital machine like the one I went to, where you go in and type your information and prints out your parents' citizenship or birth certificate, I mean. And so having your birth certificate from your state where you were born in the US, and a few other forms that I'll put down right here. Just with that, you're able to apply and get your dual citizenship. Now, what does that mean? Well, it's like having a second identity. You have another social security that you're able to work in a different country if needed to. You're able to open up bank accounts, get an ID, get your passport, and a variety of other entitlements that you have.
Oh my goodness. This place is off the hook. This place is off the hook.
Now more than ever, like pre-mentioned, things are tumbling down in the United States. That's why you see a lot more foreigners coming to Mexico. Actually, 2 years ago, broke record of how many Americans left the United States to relocate into Mexico. And this year, and we're at the end of this year, it's November 2023, it broke that record again of Americans leaving America, because from one way or another, they're seeing that things are crumbling and they're not looking too good, so they're relocating. Okay, so back to the passport or citizenship. Why wouldn't you want to? Why would you not want to have a plan B?
An offer only a madman would refuse.
Hit that like button, and hopefully we see you down here in Mexico real soon, as the economy is going to be very, very prosperous. So come capitalize on it. Don't wait for the last second. And at the last second, that's when the rush is going on for the gold rush, and it's too late by then, buddy. Gotta do it now. See the vision before everybody else sees it, and capitalize.
These days, gotta keep my phone on airplane mode.
Downtown Diamond District, jewelers like yo.